Sup, my name is Ray for the TheYugiohCouncil, and this is the Hero Combo Guide, which will teach you how to play heroes. For the first half of the video, we will be talking about the cards themselves. For the second half, we'll be doing a demonstration of basically the hands you will see with the deck. Now, the deck profile is already on YouTube. It should be linked down below if I've forgotten to do it because of my scheduling over the weekend. Make sure just to ask me and I will put it down there. We'll slap that bitch down there. Now, if you're not a subscriber, you didn't, request this and you're just checking this out, thanks. Appreciate that. If you like what you see at any time, make sure to hit the subscribe button, stick around, because we're going to be doing a lot of crazy stuff on the channel. So let's quickly talk about the cards that we're going to be talking about in this combo guide. So this way you can kind of follow at home, right? So you buy your computer, you got your stuff, you want to just focus on, we're going to dust our mat off, we're going to dust it. So we have the Acid, we have the Dark Law, we have the Koga, we have the App Zero, the Excalibur, the Shining, and the Lol Chain. I don't really think there's anything else we need to cover. That should be every 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, yep, that's everything. Just want to make sure I have everything in front of me for you guys. So these are the crucial cards. Now, if you don't have a Lol Chain or you're missing something, don't fret. Here's what you do. If at any point you see something that you're not maining or you just don't own, shoot me a picture of what you're using in the comment section and say, I need help putting in combo with this, and I will gladly help you. It'll take me a little time to respond because I'm just swamped with a bunch of things I'm trying to bring to this channel and also helping you guys out. So do that. Don't be afraid to. I'm not one of those guys who's gonna bite you. I'm not gonna bite. So let's talk about the monsters. Shadow Mist, Zephyros, Neo Alias, Summoner Monk, Bubble Man will all play a role in this combo guide for the first half. Spells, because I don't have it all lined up. There's only one trap, which is called Haunted. Spells: Miracle Fusion, Mass Charge, Hero Lives, Form Change, Forbidden Lance, and Mass Change. These are the cards we'll be talking about throughout this video for the first 7-8 minutes, somewhere around there time frame. So I'm going to give a quick little introduction to some new cards. This guy right here. Well, I'm sorry, this girl right here, Shadow Mist. When she's sent to the graveyard by Destruction or just Armageddon Knights or whatever, Foolish Burial, obviously I'm not running some of those cards, or the Lol Chain, then it's going to allow you to search your deck for any hero card that is a hero monster, okay? So it's not limited just to these two. You can't search out another one, so it's not like Stratos. But if Stratos was legal, you can search out the Stratos. Right now, you can search out the Diamond Dude, the Dashers, the Malicious, all that good stuff. I believe it's not limited to level 4s, hence I'm checking right now just to make sure I'm accurate. Add one hero monster from your deck to your hand, so any level. So that's awesome. There's a giant pool that she can search out. So definitely one that you want to play in your hero deck. And it's going to search out these two for us. Well, for me right now. So let's talk about some new toys we got from the extra deck, and one that may have gotten a boost. Where the heck did? Okay, I kept thinking it was 3 I was playing. I don't play the wooden one. I will mention him, which I have him right over here. He's just not sleeved up. He's in a pile because I just haven't had the time to sort through these. We have from the structure deck we have the Divine Wind, the Hero Chaos. Contrast Hero Chaos, the Dark Law, and the Koga. Obviously, I'm not running these two guys because A, we don't really have a win that could bring them out consistently without playing Mass Change the second. Avion's fun and all, don't get me wrong, I've actually used it in the budget builds, but it's just not, it's not good enough in my taste. Reborn Tengu is a great choice if you want to tech this in one of your decks. With Mass Change a second, Reborn Tengu is a great choice. Contrast Hero Chaos we pretty much stay away from because it requires 2 mask heroes, and most of the time we're not going to have those requirements. And it's just a 3,000 beater. Really nothing too special to him. But these are the two guys we're going to focus on. Now there is also a masked hero, Acid, which I did mention, and I am in love with him. He's our back row destruction. Dark Law and Koga are new, so we're going to be talking about them. We'll get to Acid in a little bit. Koga allows basically for OTKs out of the ass. You can banish any hero out of your graveyard and he's going to allow you just to poke for more damage. So pretty much when he comes out, if your opponent has something on the board that has like 1900, let's say it's Neo Alias there, right? And I have one of these in my graveyard, I banish it out. just for representation. I banish them out. I get to drop that by 1900. I get to drop it by whatever it is. It could be any hero monster, so whatever the biggest hero you have in your graveyard, make sure to use it. If it's a Neos, use that Neos. Drop it by 2500. Drop it by whatever you need to drop it to 0. And for every monster your opponent controls, he's going to gain 500. So he gets to attack, takes him out, and just god stuff. Now, Dark Law here is pretty much the bread and butter of heroes right now, because let's be honest, most Yu-Gi-Oh decks focus on using the graveyard, special summoning back, and controlling the game. I'm looking at you, Burning Abyss. Now, what Dark Law does is he says, no graveyard for you, everything gets banished. He's a walking macrocosmos. Now, when you would get a search, here's what happens. You get to randomly take one card from your hand and banish it from play. So, it is awesome. My turtle's getting pissed at that, so pardon me for 1 second, we'll be right back. Alright, so Turtle is okay now. Had to talk about Dark Law banishing stuff. Long story short, there's actual Turtle here. We're in the reptile room. So, what I want to quickly touch upon is you want to special summon her. Now, the reason you want to special summon her is because you get this search. We already touched upon the graveyard search. Now, these effects are once per turn and only one effect per turn. So we're going to basically go over real quick how to completely utilize it. So we have cards like Summoner Monk, we have cards like A Hero Lives, we have cards like Call the Haunted to special it out from the deck, you know. That's what we want to do. Now, for representation, if you have Monk and Hero Lives in the same hand, do not play the Hero Lives. You want to play the Monk, discard, special, and same results with an extra monster on board, set that thing, set whatever else you got, and then wait a turn because you got your special summon, you know, you got your special summon search. You want to net that other search because it's going to help you get speed, and then you go for like the Neo Alias or the Bubble Man, and it's the actual reason you go for either one of these. If you can make an Acid, you want to go for Bubble Man. If you can make a Shining, you want to go for the Neo Alias. Now, if you're unsure which one to go into, 90% of the time it's going to be Bubble Man. If you have the Miracle Fusion, then 90% of the time it's going to be the Neo Alias. I leave it down to player preference. So we have tons of ways to special her. Hence the 3 Hero Lives. Life points are kind of irrelevant when it nets you a Dark Law and it just rips stuff from your opponent's hand and controls the game. Now you combine this with Koga, shit gets really fucked up because then they can't really jump over it by battle unless they have other things. Now keep in mind, things like Honest, Bujin Crane, things that would get over it are going to be banished from play. They won't be able to utilize their graveyard at all. Meaning decks like Lightsorn just get ripped apart and gutted open. It's a beautiful, disgusting thing. I mean, disgusting in a good way. Alright, so what happens in those situations you don't open that? Come on, Ryu, talk about that. Well, you summon the Zephyros, the Elites, and the Bubble Man. You hope to God that you could set everything on the board, and you make a Lava Lull Chain because Lava Lull Chain is the best card in the deck. But if you have Shadow Mist and a Bubble Man, which you're pretty much going to see more, and it's an even happier situation, you send that Shadow Mist to the graveyard, you search out for a Bubble Man out of your deck. Because I am on a little time frame here, I'm going to grab the Bubble Man that was material. That's a Bubble Man, just representation. You're going to kit this to the hand, you're going to send that to the graveyard. You're going to send these 2 to the graveyard. 1 for material, 1 from the main deck. Doesn't matter which one, as long as you can create this play off that Bubble Man, and you're going to search out that Bubble Man. Now the reason for this is when you don't have the mass chain set up and you get something like this, you want to set up for a rank 4 Exceed. You set up for that rank 4 Exceed, you can bounce the Bubble Man, get the Zephyros, re-special the Bubble Man, and make that rank 4. From here you can use your 101, Castel, whatever the case may be, and then freely play a Miracle Fusion to go into an App 0. From that App 0, you can attack, then play Form Change, swap out that App 0, and get yourself a nice Acid. Now, once Acid goes to the graveyard, or you just get another one in there, and there's 20 ways of getting something in there, you can play the Mass Charge. And you can pick stuff up, because Form Charge does count as that. Now, I think that covers pretty much everything. Opening moves, 90% of the time, you want to go some way into Shadow Mist with Mass Charge. It will rip a good chunk of this game apart. And say no Yu-Gi-Ohs. or I'm gonna go into the best combo my deck can have. That's why a lot of people in Dev Pro, they see this, they're like, fuck that, I quit. I'm not dealing with that shit. And I can't blame them. Easy counters to this: Compulse, Fiendish Chain, Lance, and Lance actually has a great importance to this, and I'll actually explain that in a minute. Bottomless, I think you can dodge it pretty easy, so that's why I don't really mention Bottomless. You could Torrential is great, Deep Prison, just for counters, quick counters. But if you have a deck that plays Lance and you see them going for this combo, you could play the Lance and say, fuck you, you're not getting that. So that's something to keep in mind there. Now, if you special her and you get the search, you want to set it, wait a turn to your opponent's standby phase, and then do it. And I just flipped it off my table. Now, the reason you want to do that is so you can get an additional search for a hero card. So you can search out any hero, so it's too strong. You want to make sure to abuse the crap out of that. Alright, I think that pretty much covers everything here. Call the Haunted, it's pretty standard to understand everything. I'm just going to quickly look over the extra deck one more time. One of my favorite combos is going for Miracle Fusion, because you have the 3 Bowman in the deck, and bringing out App Zero, right? And then you have this card here that no one ever really likes, Form Change. You also have Mass Change. If you play Form Change, it's going to return the App Zero to the deck, get the acid, you will completely wipe your opponent's board. The same combo could be done with a Mass Change. So keep that in mind. App Zero goes back, or gets sent to the graveyard, wipes your opponent's monsters, this guy comes out, wipes your opponent's back row. Pretty crazy, pretty crazy. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to take this deck, and I'm going to shuffle it up, right on camera. Excuse me. I got some stomach issues. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to shuffle this terribly. I'm doing it through the tripod. We're going to shuffle this up real good. No cutaways for the shuffle. No changes. This is exactly what I'm running, what I showed you guys before, and this little thing here is part of my tripod, so just letting you guys know. I'm going to try to get that out of the way. There we go, got that out of the way. Alright, so just no camera tricks, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the kind of hand I was talking about that you really don't want to get yourself into, so you want to just like set everything and wait. Basically, Compulse out, draw Zephyros Elite. Now we can do that combo I talked about. We can go for that level old chain. From that level old chain, we send that Shadow Mist from the main deck. And we're going to send that Shadow Mist, we're going to grab that Bubble Man. Now we can create a follow-up play. Since there's nothing on the board, we could poke for 1800. It's best not to completely overextend at this point. Now, if our opponent has something to get over it, we have the chain, we have the lance, we're in an okay situation. So we're going to go on the thing that I said with the chain. Now, since we top deck Miracle Fusion, which is awesome, needlessly, I'm going to actually set that, special him, special the Bubble Man, bounce the Bubble Man back to summon the Zephyros Elite, special the Bubble Man. Let's say there's something on board, just for argument's sake, let's say there's something on board, go for Castel, send that shit back. Fiendish Chain is kind of dead right now, that's fine, it could remain dead. We're going to use the level low chains effect. Now, we don't have anything on board. Like if we had this, I would send that to pick up the 2. But we don't have that right now. So what we're going to actually do in this kind of situation is we're going to send Summoner Monk. And the actual reason we're going to send Summoner Monk is because we're in a top deck mode. So when we're in a top deck mode, we want to create plays. So Summoner Monk's not going to help us create those plays. So you can send that or the other form change from your main deck. Or if you want to go really sacky, you could just send the Neo Alias and go from there. Well, pretty much what I'm going to do is I'm going to push, we already pushed for 18, so that would be 36, and 36 plus 2,000 would be 56, correct? So we need to do a little more damage to completely steal the game. So I think in this case we'd go for Shining, but it doesn't really matter at this point because we have secured the game. You go for the App Zero, as long as they don't have warning, because you could Lance. Okay, for argument's sake, then this will still be down. But you can attack, poke, poke, swap out, this gets returned, acid comes out to play, and then attacks, and that's game over, because you've done over 8,000 damage. And that's off a hand that should not allow you to tactically win a game. With no disrespect to myself for my own deck building skills. But that is the power of combos when it comes to heroes. And I'm not going to leave you off there. I'm actually going to do this a few times so you can actually see what you can actually work with here. This is what I was talking about before. If you open something like this, don't play Hero Lives, save it. As crazy as that sounds. What I actually like to do, in my case, I probably would play Hero Lives just to be a psycho, but I don't feel like doing that. I go for the Dark Law in this hand, but if we're going second, I'm gonna get that Deep Prison. So this is one hand. Let's talk about another hand that maybe it won't be so nice. Never mind, it's just as nice. You can play that Hero Lives and then just start everything, get that search there. Alright? So that's two hands that are pretty damn good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can create a Dark Law from this hand. We can create a Acid from this hand. We can create board control. We can create OTKs. I'm going to go over it in a minute. I just want to show consistency here. Look at that. Fucking Hero Lives again. Man, that's like what? 4 or 5 hints? It's half the deck already. Even this isn't bad because you could just set Warning, have Snatch Steal, go into Acid, bring it back, bring out another Acid. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And then just go over all the possible hands. And this is the kind of hand that you worked with before, right? There's not really much to go there. You just set him, set all that, and then go into your next card, and you do what I showed before. It's just crazy, like the consistency with the deck, man. It's crazy. In this case, that's not even a thing yet. I would set the Shadow Mist and then let it die, go to Call the Haunted and bring it back and set up freaking Dark Law. And then I think there's 5 cards left here, and from that, well, you're just gonna search and then play Miracle Fusion and be a second piece of shit. Probably go for Bubble Man. So let's talk about the mindset when you want to play heroes. The mindsets. There is a mindset. There's a great mindset. It's fun. It's fun as hell. So again, in this situation, I would set the 4, set it up. Hope to God they don't Exciton Knight, but that's why we have the Fiendish Chain, the chain on top. We have the Compulse to deal with anything that's coming our way. We have the Deep Prison, which I'll probably run first. And we top deck, and then we go into the combo that I showed at the beginning of doing this. So we're actually going to skip out on that because we know where the hell that's going to go, and it's going to be hilarious. You're going to go into a Lava Wall chain, you're going to send the Zephyros, and you're going to get the search for Bubble Man, creating a play next turn, and then from there, you're going to destroy your opponent with massive amounts of damage because of form change. MST, Shadow Mist, Miracle Fusion, Mass Charge. Not so pretty, so we're just going to set that. That's kind of stacked, but whatever. Shadow Mist, search for Bubble Man in this case. I would go for Shining, but we don't need a Power Beater. We need something a little bit better than a Power Beater. So top deck, and it's not a great top deck, but we can blind MST, go into the Bubble Man, freely just play the Miracle Fusion, go into a App Zero. I feel pretty confident when I'm behind App Zero, and just go into it. They try a 1-on-1, they see me, they hating when we try to 1-on-1, right? This case, I probably go defense mode for a minute and just make another one from there, and then go wipe, get another 25 in, control the game, went to grave, let's get a search. Search would be Neo Alias for a little more power that time. Just keep that power behind us, and then draw. Look at that, rank 4 play, 4 days, create the play that I talked about before. There's still another one. What you can actually do is, because this was here, you can actually send that to graveyard and create an Acid right off that. So the consistency level is very, very high. But one of the things that I talked about, and I haven't been able to show, it doesn't want to show, which you probably end up seeing in IRL duel videos, I'm hoping it would fucking pop up. You know what this works? Play the reinforcements to the army, go in for, or Hero Lives, whatever the case may be. If it's a Hero Lives, you're going to get the search. If it's just a reinforcement to the army, you're not playing the Hero Lives, combo that turn, then just go straight into it and go straight into Dark Law. And just control the damn game. Just control the game. Control the game. Win the game. But actually, you want to keep them in hand. You don't want to use them just yet. You want to see what your opponent has. If we had a Lance down, we could play Tarental, play Lance, but that's not going to be a thing. Oh, that is a Lance. So anyway, rate, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Any questions, leave it down below. I will be glad as hell to help you. Duel videos will be filming on Monday and should be out sometime next week. Thanks for watching. Peace.